Hello, and welcome to Acumen Fiscal Agent, your new financial management service provider for self-directed support. We're happy to have you with us and look forward to serving you. In this video tutorial, we will review the 4 documents that are needed to complete your Acumen enrollment. For many of you watching this video, your documents have been pre-filled with the employer of record's information we received from the Missouri Department of Mental Health Division of Developmental Disability. For those completing forms that have not been pre-filled, those completing new forms for corrections, and those who have received pre-filled forms, please ensure that you have the correct forms printed and ready to go as you follow along. Please note, all forms will require handwritten or wet signatures. Digital signatures cannot be accepted. Acumen Fiscal Agent was founded in 1995 on a simple premise. There has to be a better, simpler, more personal and efficient way to provide self-direction services to individuals with disabilities and their families. Since then, we at Acumen Fiscal Agent have steadily grown by keeping that premise in mind and are now one of the largest providers of fiscal agent support working with individuals and families self-directing services. Once the transition is complete, you will be assigned an agent that will be your main point of contact at Acumen. It is possible throughout the transition that you may be in contact with various Acumen employees to help you. We will do everything in our power to make the enrollment process as smooth as possible for you. Before we review the paperwork, let's quickly go over some frequently asked questions. What information will Acumen need to get me and my employees started? Information about the employer of record and employees was provided to us by PPL and DMHDD. Only 4 employer forms are needed to complete the enrollment process. We will reach out to you individually if there are any additional employee forms or information that is needed. Will my employees still receive their pay by direct deposit? Yes, PPL has provided your employees direct deposit information. If your employee would like to make a change to their account, or if they would like to receive a pay card instead, let us know. What if my employee has been receiving their pay onto a pay card with PPL? Well, PPL has also provided us with the information that allows us to deposit directly into that same pay card account. If your employee would like to order a new pay card, just let us know and we'll get you the forms needed to make that change. What if I need to make changes to my or my employee's information before March 2021? Please ensure that any changes to information are communicated to both PPL and Acumen. How will I know if Acumen has everything for me to get started? Employers and employees will receive an email or a mailed letter from Acumen notifying you that you are good to go. Is there a new pay schedule? Acumen will send you a new pay schedule along with your good to go. The due and pay dates will remain the same. Your last paycheck with PPL will be on Friday, March 26th of 2021. You will start entering hours with Acumen on Sunday, March 14th, 2021. Will my employees still be covered by workers' compensation? Yes, your employees will still be covered. There are no additional forms or paperwork for you to complete. So before we get into the paperwork, again, it's just very important that you review any pre-filled forms carefully for accuracy and follow all written and verbal instructions when completing all of the forms we're going to go over today. Failure to do so could result in a delay in your enrollment. If you find a mistake, you must complete a brand new form. You may not cross out, white out, or add corrections to any of the forms that we'll be talking about today. Failure to provide a new corrected form when needed could result in a delay in your enrollment. If at any point as you're following along with this video you discover an error, please pause the video and print a new form to complete as you follow along. Again, all signatures must be handwritten. Digital signatures cannot be accepted. So the first form that we'll review is the Form 2678, Employer Payer Appointment of Agent. Part 1 of this form is pre-filled for accuracy. Please do not make any changes or additions to this section. Simply move down to Part 2. In Part 2 of this document, please take a moment to review Section 1, the employer identification number for accuracy if it's been pre-filled, or fill in this information if you're completing a new form. Then move down to Section 2, the employer or payer's name. In this box, you should see the employer of record's full name. Check for accuracy if this has been pre-filled, or fill in this information if you're completing a new form. Once complete, you can skip Section 3 and review Section 4. This is the employer's physical address. Check for accuracy if it's been pre-filled, or fill in this information if you're completing a new form. If you are completing a new form, please note that P.O. boxes are not accepted as a physical address. And again, if you find a mistake, please pause this video and print a new form to complete as you follow along. In Section 5, please do not make any changes or additions to this section. These boxes are pre-filled for accuracy. You can simply move to the signature section and ensure that the employer's full name matches the name in Part 2, Section 2, and that the best daytime number are all correct. The title is pre-filled with household employer, so no changes needed there. If the full name and phone number are accurate, simply sign your full name and date the document. This document is now complete, and we can move on to the next form. So let's review Form 8821, the Tax Information Authorization Form. In this form, we're going to review Section 1 only. So in the first box to the far left, go ahead and review that the employer name and physical address are correct. This should be the same information from our last form. Now move to the right and review the taxpayer identification number, or FEIN, and the daytime phone number. If corrections are needed, pause this video and print a new form to follow along with. We don't want to make any changes to sections 2 through 7. Again, this has all been pre-filled for accuracy, so no changes are needed here. If everything in Section 1 is correct, we'll just simply move to the bottom of the page and check the employer full name for accuracy, and then sign and date the bottom of the page. This form is now complete. The next form is the Missouri Form 2827, or Missouri Department of Revenue Power of Attorney. This is a 2-page document, so take a moment to ensure you have both pages. Go ahead and pause here if you're missing a page, and come on back and continue once you have both pages. Similar to the previous forms, much of this is pre-filled for accuracy. So let's take a look at what we do need to review. Starting at the top of the page to the right, carefully review the FEIN and employer social security number. To the left, you'll find boxes for the Missouri tax ID number. If you do not know your Missouri taxpayer ID number, it is okay to leave this section blank. Then move on down to the employer name and physical address. Then move to the right and review the employer phone number for accuracy. Again, if corrections are needed, pause this video and print a new form to follow along with. Please do not make any changes or additions to sections other than those we are reviewing. If everything looks good here, we can then move on to the second page. At the top of the second page, review the employer's full name and phone number for accuracy. If this is correct, simply sign and date the form. If not, pause the video here and print a new form. Please, again, do not make any changes or additions to the bottom section of the page. Once you've verified for accuracy and everything's been signed and dated, this form is complete. The last form that we have to review is the Missouri Department of Labor and Industrial Relations Power of Attorney. Just like with some of our other forms, all we need to do here is review the top section, Section 1, for accuracy. So start with the first box and verify the employer's full name is correct. Then review the address and phone number for accuracy. Then carefully confirm that the FEIN and the UI tax number are correct. If corrections are needed, pause this video and print a new form to follow along with. Do not make any changes or additions to sections 2 or 4 and 5. If all of the information in section 1 is accurate, simply move down to section 3 and confirm the employer's full name is accurate. Then sign and date. The title is pre-filled and no changes are needed. This form is now complete. So now we've reviewed and completed all 4 forms. So what's next? Well, you can return your completed paperwork to us by either fax, mail, or email. There's nothing more that's needed at this time. Once we've received your paperwork, if additional items are needed, we will contact you directly. Once your enrollment is processed, we will notify the employer of record or the DR and employee with good to go letters, including login information for our time submissions in our DCI system. Please plan to join us for training on the time submission options. In addition to live webinars, we also have recorded trainings and written guides available at the Acumen website, www.acumenfiscalagent.com/Missouri.